Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Come on in. We are here for the House of the Dragons, season 3, episode 2. And we have started with the shenanigans. How are you, Lord Trey Snow?
My lady, it is an honor to be with you again on this another week of House of the Dragon. We're about to get some hot D and insert it in places it shouldn't be.
And speaking of inserting where it shouldn't be, let's start with the song of the day. The song of the day, because they start off this entire episode with Daemon, the Grey Wolves, and the Riverland Army singing Fish Feed. And I was pissed. I was pissed. Eh, How did you feel, Trey? Because Fish Feed ain't supposed to be happening this way.
I thought we was going to get to see it because that's a momentous and important battle. We meet a lot of important people to come, and I was at least noticing them in the background. They were hugging and stuff. I was like, "Hey, no, we need to know her. We need to know him, and him over here." It was,
Y'all,
yeah.
the show completely jumps over Fish Feed. Fish Feed is a huge, massive battle. Here's how massive it is. In the books, the Grey Wolves lose 2/3 of their men in Fish Feed. And you know they're coming wilding out anyway. So for them to lose 2/3 of the Winter Wolves is a massive battle. Okay? But they got the Lannister army. They obliterated the Lannister army. You see, they already caught the lion. They beheaded the lion, and we're gonna talk. It's a whole lot of, I'm sorry, y'all, it's a whole lot of beheadings in this episode. Okay. But we do see houses, as you said. House Tully is there, of course. Then we see Malister, which is an ally of the Starks, and we see House Piper, who is of the Riverlands. Those are some important houses for us to know for Game of Thrones. And the Blackwoods are here. The Blackwoods brought Simon Strong to the camp. And who are the Blackwoods? The Blackwoods are the family that Daemon went to stir up stuff in the Riverlands, and it backfired on him. That was the Blackwoods. But Simon Strong came with a message for Daemon. And the message for Daemon was that Jace has fallen in battle. And Daemon does what he does in every moment. He takes a moment to mourn. And then he's like, we got to move. I'm going to head to King's Landing and I'll meet y'all there. Let's go. He left a charge for every single person. Here's what you need to do. Get it done. I'm out of here. Caraxes, drink some water. Let's go.
You know, I don't. Yeah.
Yes, Trey is flexing his sword, and I'm trying to keep it moving, and just it's for y'all viewing pleasure. We have the long screen today, so y'all can see his helmet.
Hold it. You gotta show how to properly hold it. Okay, you can't just. We'll get to that. Choke that thing. Hold it.
Trey wanted the wide screen today, so y'all can see he has the helmet to go with the rest of his outfit. Okay, so yes, Trey is flexing his sword.
Sword indexing is important. Sword indexing is important. You don't want to be swinging and it come down like this. Oh, no, you don't want that.
Yes, sword safety is always necessary. So we see Daemon is talking to Alice Rivers. Okay, Alice, remember, she was there to guide him through the visions. Okay, she wants Harrenhal. I gave you the Riverlands. I'm gonna need Harrenhal. Okay. She said, it has been passed from hand to hand, and no one has cherished it but me. But here's the thing, Trey. Right now, we're in 130 AC, which is after Aegon's conquest, the first Aegon, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The last time Harrenhal passed to a different house was back in 73 AC. So it's given she giving her age away here, that she ain't as young as she seems.
Very true.
What did you think about her asking him? She is Rivers. She's a bastard from the Riverland. Asking him, "I help you. I need this castle, the biggest castle in all of Westeros."
To me, it was a little bit presumptuous, but maybe not. Maybe for different reasons than most people think. Okay, I mind you, this conversation is show made up. Okay, mind you, and I see why they're doing it, but I gotta stress that again. This is show made up because they want to explain away something. I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to explain something away. Okay. I did like the conversation though itself for one part, well, two parts of it. Well, one main part. When Alice Rivers said, "I brought you 40,000 Rivers," Damon gave her a look. Okay. It was the same look I was giving to the screen. You did. Oh, we're not denying that you did not help, because you definitely helped with a few things. The main thing she did, what she should have said, even though this would have been cryptic, I helped the promise she made him when you first met him. You need to win this castle to your side before things can go right here, and everything you're trying to accomplish works out. But I know that this may sound the same, but to still add that on, oh, I'm the reason. I might be freezing up a bit. Sorry. To say that I'm the reason that these 40,000 Rivermen just came to your side, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't. If you ask these 40,000 Rivermen, they might not remember you.
She trying to tell him, "I made the
You know,
way
they
for
might say,
little
"Yeah, that's a strange
Oscar
woman."
Tully." She made the way for little Oscar Tully to take over and be
And
on
I
his
feel you.
side.
Now that was the most interesting revelation that they did.
How
That
is that a
she was
revelation?
the
We
one
knew.
that, well, we suspected how they did it. We suspected, but this is the first time that she acknowledged that she did it. There's one thing to suspect that, oh, you give a look, this happened. Oh, see how help not. There's another thing saying, no, I did this. That's confirmation. Oh, okay, you off this grandpa, because that was the big hiccup. That was the big hiccup, and it was a. Even though I understood Damon's haste with it because he was right, but it was a hiccup. Technically, which I'm gonna bring something up. I think there's a parallel we don't really see here to Game of Thrones. I'm gonna make a parallel that I think the show never intended to do. This situation came up before, but it was handled drastically different in the future in the original Game of Thrones show. If you're Lord Paramount, his grandfather was Lord Paramount of the Reach. Technically, Oscar could not make any moves unless his grandfather said so, like all the banners, or his grandfather, inspired, and then he would become Lord Paramount of the Reach. Then in his name, he could make decisions and call the banners and all this stuff. Okay. Funny thing, this same situation happened in Game of Thrones, but with Huster Tully and his son. But if you notice there, the Sunday, war was breaking out. He didn't wait for his grandpa to, inspire this and that third. He immediately took command and called the banners.
Yes.
So when Rob came through and all this stuff, they had to save River Run. They've been attacked. If you remember, Jamie was laying siege to the castle.
Yes.
And Rob they had to come save him. He been called the banners. Nah, it's up out here. Because I'm sorry, what you gonna do when you actually being attacked now? Just saying all this tradition.
But the Blackfish had already earned the respect of his peers. And we're gonna talk about that in here too. He'd earned the respect.
The Blackfish was with Catelyn. He came from the Vale with Catelyn. That's what she picked him up at. Her brother, Edmure, was running. Right. Because he's heir, he called all the banners up and he was fighting Jamie with the River Lords, but they kind of got beat a couple of times by Jamie, and then Jamie surrounded River Run, and they had to come save him. My point being was, I find it real, even though a lot of this was suspicious, and a lot of this was done for plot reasons, because none of this is in the books, y'all. This whole thing with us, yes, the word was said that Grandpa was technically, while he's still alive, he can't really do anything. But in the books, Oscar was still running around, calling an order.
But here's the thing,
he was doing it
right. But by the time Game of Thrones, they learned
route with it and make it, and because right.
By the time Game of Thrones, they learn. Mm-hmm.
The part that got me, maybe they did, and then we're going to chalk it up to that. But the part that got me was Daemon actually relented to Alice. He's like, yeah, you've been a little presumptuous. You know you're just a bastard girl. Like, you ain't got no lord. Like, he laid it out for her. Girl, you ain't got no lord, no title. You're not.
Did he relent?
This is the part where I didn't like. He started out by saying, "Hey, you are asking for a lot here, okay? And look at the situation. You have no name, no title. You're just, a bastard. You're not even married to a noble lord, nothing like that. And the crown, historically, is not used to just handing out castles, especially the biggest castle in the realm. Because everything goes down at this daggone castle. And it's a linchpin in everything that happens in this world because of where it sits. It's strategically, what are you asking for a lot right here now? You ask for a lot.
But what would the Riverland lords think of having given a bastard the largest castle?
Exactly.
That's why he was telling her maybe you should marry a river lord.
Basically, that's what he was trying to tell her. And he was also telling her, you talking about you brought me 40,000 river lords. Those river lords will disappear if I just hand you this daggone castle. So what are you talking about here?
Yeah.
So I found it interesting. The part that I didn't like was when Daemon said, maybe I'll talk to the queen and we can figure out some compensation, like, rubies or whatever. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Honestly, all he had to say was, I would discuss it with the queen, and left it at that.
There you go.
But because they answered the way they did, and because I know what has to happen next, they're trying to explain away what's about to happen.
Yes.
And it's still false promises what's about to happen.
But what's up? Hey, Absence. Yes, it was a good episode. What's up with the bastards wanting castles? Because we heard Ulf won a castle last episode. Now this episode, Alice Rivers wants a castle. These bastards are getting a little bit too high in the instep. They're getting a little too, hands out.
Honestly, I don't mind it. bastards are people too. Some of them deserve some praise from here and there. But historically, we know how the realm, at least parts of the realm, feel about bastards. So
yeah,
this is gonna be part for the course. It's gonna happen. But
so
they're doing this in a way to set a parallel. The parallel they're trying to set up is from Alice to Alan.
yes, yes,
A
that
little too on the nose for me, but
we'll get to there because I'm pissed off at Corliss. We gonna get there. We gonna get there.
I wasn't mad, but I know why you about to be pissed
Heck
off.
no.
I wasn't mad.
I'm mad. I'm mad on Alan's behalf. Whatever.
So the problem was he was getting that anyway.
And
you saw
I gotta get it after them burnt to ash, but we will get there.
He was getting beforehand, but you saw where this was going. They had to set that scene up and make it kind of ironic and funny and blah blah blah. Because we know in the books he actually got that before the battle of the Gullet.
The battle, he got it. Yes.
Yeah. He was named Lord. He was named his heir before the battle of the Gullet.
Trey, how many people? Because that was one of his stipulations for taking the note as hand for Rhaenyra, was to make his bastard son legitimate.
But hold on.
One of them,
not his bastard son.
The one you know.
No. Not his bastard son. And the real. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna back it up.
His bastard grandson.
In the show, yes. In the show, yes. They're trying to, which I don't like. Why did they? That's given what they did that first season with Rhaenyra. Keeping it like the book version would even make it even more funny and ironic and crazy.
It would have.
They should have just left it. Okay, y'all, in the books, when these two particular boys are brought forth, they are brought forth by Corliss himself to the queen and presented, and he tells them these are the bastard sons of his son Rhaenyra before he married Rhaenyra.
Right.
Before he married Rhaenyra.
Right.
And everybody just like, oh, okay. They know it ain't true, but it's like, hey, all right, whatever you say, Corliss. We need bodies.
He's my grandson. Right. And right absence, Rhaenys had told him to stop making them bastards. You need heirs.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Which is why they should have kept that part, and it should have been a hell of a lot earlier. And then, like I said, it should have kept it like in the book, and him pretending to be Rhaenyra's kids,
But then why Baylor putting something else in their business? Be saying that it's because of grandmother. It wasn't because of grandmother. Hush.
We know why. They're trying to go ahead and contrive that relationship. If y'all ain't paying attention, you see what the heck is happening.
Yes,
a little too quick for my taste, but
little too quick. Y'all, Baylor and Alan. If spoiler alert, Baylor and Alan gonna be, hand in marriage later on as the seasons go along. So they had to put them in each other's company, at least for now, to show it. Now, while Adam is flying, because you done take me out of the direction I wanted to go with this, since you want to battle about Corliss. Adam is flying, sea smoke, to find Corliss and his shiny raggedy behind. And that's why the thumbnail is Corliss laid up in the water, y'all. And, Sea Smoke know what he looked like from up above, because remember, this was Rhaenyra's dragon. He should have just let Sea Smoke go find him, because Sea Smoke found Adam. So they find Corliss in his shiny armor, glittering off the rocks. And they, I guess, pick him up. They ain't got enough CGI to show us that. So we next see Corliss sitting on the shores with his two sons and with Baylor, and having a conversation. What did he say about victory, Trey?
If this be victory, may I never see another. This is a good line.
It was an excellent line. I didn't like how he delivered it. But I may just be salty because his next line was that, hey, I ain't got nothing left to my name but my name. That is all I have to give you, and you could have it now. That I didn't like. That is like, keep your burnt down. Yes, I am salty. Keep your burnt
You
down,
just feel a little
sunk to the
salty.
bottom of the ocean. Keep that name now that it ain't got nothing left to it. Now you want to give it to me. But Alan is a good sport. He's like, that is all I ever wanted. That's all I ever wanted, Father. Alan's a good sport. Not me.
No, first of all, no, 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 no. There's plenty left to it, and Al encapsulated it perfectly. Because you can have all the stuff that you want, but Tywin Lannister taught us this in the original Game of Thrones. I don't know why we keep forgetting his lessons. That family name is going to go a heck of a lot farther and faster than what perceived riches you got. Okay? Alan said it right. That name is still worth all the gold in the mountain. Because it is. And in this point, yeah, I'm with him. Give me the name. Give me the name. I can rebuild that. I can go find some more treasures. Which you know that's what he's gonna do. I could do that. No problem. But give me the name.
That's the
so
whole,
I can go do it.
It's not just a name, but all you've taught me is worth more than the rubies. Oh, give me a break.
Whatever.
Give me a break.
Yeah, Alan
Baela.
Alan would technically be her uncle.
Yes.
He would be her uncle.
Yes, he would be. But in the books, they tried to pawn them off as Corlys's grandchildren too. So that's why we were talking about it like that. But
so that. It would have been such a great joke.
It would have been a great joke because they could have been in the hall while they call Rhaenyra's kids bastards, and he would have, Adam with the black hair, and Alan right there. So it would have been a great level of it. But hey, we got the family. That,
by the way,
I don't agree with that either. But we got the family reunion right here off a Driftmark while it is smoking and blowing in the wind. Corlys has given his name to his bastard sons, and soon we head into King's Landing. But what I do want people to understand is, from last episode to now, Fish Feed happened right after, and it was a very long battle. So I want us to understand, in looking at timeline, the battle in the Gullet happened for a long time. So long, we will see what happens with Aegon later on. This Fish Feed, again, was a long, drawn-out battle. So they didn't just find Corlys the next day. They didn't just pick Jace up and take him home the next day. That happened, but the rest of the battle kept on going, with the Triarchy. But on Dragonstone,
that's about a day or so. It's a full day and a half that battle went on. It was a long battle. It really was a long battle. You should have given a piece of that, man.
At least a piece of it. At least a piece. Dragonstone, Daemon arrives home. Baela does bring Jace. I don't like, and I will go on record now, I do not like how they are portraying Rhaenyra. It is getting worse and worse every episode. Again, this whole, what have you done, Jace? Get up, Jace. Y'all are trying to explain her diving into a little bit of madness this way? It ain't working. Yeah. Rhaenyra is vicious in the book. It's ridiculous, Trey.
Well, hold on. Let's not put that. She can be vicious, but in the book, she's vicious for reasons.
Right.
Whenever she's so vicious, there's a reason for it.
I just don't like the emotional.
It ain't just out of nowhere.
I know, but I don't like this emotional cry Rhaenyra. It bothers my nerves.
This is the problem. This is the problem I had in the first season when I said, okay, I saw this coming when they made Rhaenyra and Alicent around the same age. And all that emotion, I knew this was coming. I knew this how they was going to play things. And I'm sorry. If you notice, I hate to say it like this, it's also the reason why I don't like Alicent, even though they're trying to make her more likable. It's the main reason I don't like this version is the same reason why they still have to place on certain architects to how she was in the book. Alicent, so what I'm about to get some buzzwords, y'all. Alicent supports the patriarchy.
Right, she does.
Okay. Okay. This whole idea that men have in this world and in others that women can't rule. If you notice how everything is happening, especially even with Rhaenyra, they keep trying to portray her in a way to prove all those naysayers right.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't like it. They're literally making her in an emotional wreck, which these things does happen. She just reacts to it a tad bit differently.
She just reacts a little too
keep
emotional.
Doing this emotional wreck. Turning her to this emotional wreck. And shirks, I hate to say this, but shirks the responsibilities of ruling and duties. Now, here's the funny thing. You said, I meant to bring this up. I think my camera was messing up. I meant to bring this up earlier when you was talking about Daemon and how he reacted to the news. They tried to do this very subtly. He did react. He was a little shocked that he got the news that Jace died. He went, "Oh, this is not good." But then he immediately thought, but he immediately thought what to do next, because they are still in the middle of a war that can never be forgotten here. We are in the middle of a war. People are
you can
aspiring. Every gave the news to everyone, which I found I was interesting, but he had to because people was going to find out regardless. So,
you're going in and out.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You were going in and out.
Yeah.
Lord Snow just wants to be on camera while he's chewing people out. You'll hear him better if he's off camera. But okay. Jaguar, you're fine. I don't care if she wins the Emmy for playing Rhaenyra. I couldn't give a dag on it. That is not the Rhaenyra I know from the books. And that just tells me how shiesty the Academy would be giving her for a Rhaenyra that does not exist.
Thank you, Elsie, for saying that. Because I'm going to say this. To the actress herself, she is acting her behind off. I have to give her that. She is acting her behind off. I felt it. I did feel it. How she was talking to her dead corpse son. That was like, oh, this is bad. Oh, I felt that. But then I realized how that scene looked and what was happening. This ain't a good look. This ain't a good look. I'm just speaking on this because it speaks to a bigger issue. Look at how they are portraying this woman. Even Alicent. That's what I'm talking about. This is supposed to be a strong and mentally powerful woman that's going to be ruling the Iron Throne, and she's going against a bunch of people that think she can't rule because she's a woman, and only that.
Well, here's the thing. Daemon gets home, and the dragon seeds are there. And the first thing Ulf wants to do is try to hug him. What? Ow! You lucky you didn't get mushed in the face. But remember, y'all, Ulf is supposed to be Daemon's half brother, so he knows they're technically have the same father. So he going in for a hug, and Daemon's like, "Why you here? Why any of y'all here? You're supposed to be over there by Harrenhal." Well, we heard about a battle, and there was a witch, and you ain't paid to think. You are not paid to think. Do as you are told. So, but he tried to throw Adam under the bus. Oh, Adam went with us too. It was supposed to be 3 of y'all at Harrenhal.
It's exactly why he got smacked.
Pow! I wish I had a clip of that. And Daemon
Jaguar,
goes,
you're absolutely correct. The character of Rhaenyra in this show is an idiot, and she's not
yes,
supposed to be. That's my
right.
problem. That is the problem. And if you're doing it this way, what does that tell me how you truly think about women in the first place? Showrunner,
Ooh, we going there?
what's up? I mean, it's not being done for no reason. It's not being done for no reason. So tell me how you really feel. Mm, mm.
Uh, well, how Damon
It's,
feels is that she needs to get her behind up out that bed and stop sleeping with that daggone sword of her son's.
yeah.
He like, get your behind out of bed, and he talks to her in their, old Valyrian tongue. He has done that before, when especially they don't want to be overheard, and he just
Mm-hmm.
whispering like, "I got to get you out of this daggone bed, cause you told me about the prophecy. I done seen it in Harrenhal, like you told me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a blonde girl in the future that requires you to get your behind up and get on that daggone throne. So what you gonna do?"
Yeah. What you gonna do? I understand you want to. And in this moment, it's not like I didn't have feelings for Rhaenyra, even in this show version. But it seems there are times where it seems like she forgets what is happening thus far. Like, baby girl, you are at war. You're at
There's a
war.
throne. There's a throne to catch.
Yeah. And on top of that, even though I know it was no solace to her, what Damien said was correct. Why did he do that? He said he did exactly what boys do: disobey their
Right.
parents, number one. And he went out. Jace did go out like he wanted to go out, like a
Yes.
warrior.
Yes.
So you want to rob him of that too? He went out. If you think about it, it's the same thing Baylor said to her grandfather last season. I'm a dragon
Yes.
rider. But why is I'm gonna ask this question now? Case in point, why is, even though she doesn't get so too many lines, she needs more. But why is Baylor, even in this show version, a better written character, a strong female character than Rhaenyra herself? Because she was cooking this episode low key with everything that she
Hello?
was saying. She was
Hello?
cooking, and she out there.
So clearly you can write a
Now, granted,
strong female.
it just depends on what type of power that female has. Mm, mm. Message. Mm. Message.
Kudos,
Pay
kudos
attention
for
to what's going
Alan.
on here.
Kudos for Alan for making sure that she's single now. But anyway, um,
He,
your
he
betrothed.
definitely did the heat check. Yo, we got to talk about that. Alan with the Riz, the slow Riz on it. He was like, hold on. First, you bringing me something to drink. Wait a minute. Okay. It's cool. It tastes good. You look good. If you notice, he took a step back, right?
Yep.
She closed the distance again. I see. He was like, okay, what's going on here? Hold on, baby girl. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I may be a little bastard, but I can run the dump right now. He's like, what you on right now? I love the question that he answered. So, your patrol? They got to do that check. Like, yeah, we play with his kids. And then she closed the distance again. I'm just tired of losing everyone, Alan. Well, like, how you say his name so familiar? Like, where you got your hand on his chest? What's going on here? I'm like, hold up. And Alan checking it now. He like, I mean, you fine, you know what I'm saying? You
But I'm
fine,
still a
short.
bastard.
Just hold off on that. But as soon as Corliss gave him that name. If you notice, he looked over at Baylor.
Yes.
He said, hey, I saw that. He's like, aha, I'm that dude now, baby girl.
Is that office still open?
Listen, I'm up and it's stuck. You know what I'm saying, baby? I'm the new sleep snake. Let me show you my sleep snake. Come on. What? She's like, I got this jacket for you, baby. Your car is all over you. I'm a bore your oceans.
That was hilarious. That was the highlight for me.
Like, yeah, it was funny.
That was like, Alan's entire demeanor with her and hers as well. I said that was a great way of y'all introducing them.
Wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. Well, they knew each other already. It was just now it's proximity. Now we have to talk. We gotta. And I wonder how they was gonna do it. Like I said, it was still a little too soon for my taste. Like Jace just died. Come on, man. He just expired. My bad.
He was, Alan was trying to make sure Jace was buried.
Yeah, like he liked Jace. Even in the book version, they were fast friends actually. He liked Jace. Jace was fast friends with Alan and Adam, especially Adam because they were both dragon riders. And like I said in the books, Jace was in charge of training the dragon riders. So they was up every day. Yeah.
Yes, he learned about Alan.
He became friends with them. Very good friends with them.
Not only that, remember, Alan did go try to claim a dragon and got burned. And so Jace knew that.
Yes.
So again, it's like, okay, you are of the family line, but you ain't gonna have a dragon, but it's okay. Yeah. You gonna rule the seas.
Rule the seas, baby.
But no, let's get back to
I'm sorry, Absence. This storyline has to happen because
it's got to happen.
They're going to be my favorite couple.
Wait a minute. Is Black Love weird?
That's crazy. Because I ain't going to lie to you. In the books, they're my favorite couple. I love them.
They are.
I love them. They be getting it. They be getting it. When I say they be getting it, they be getting it. Undefeatable.
You will grow to love them, Absence. You will grow to love them because they are basically what
Corliss and Rhaenys
were. I mean, really, a powerhouse. So imagine your wife flying above, protecting you while you going through the stepstones. Come on now.
Yeah, nah, yeah. Now this is one ship. I am shipping hard. Let's do it.
Well, I understand that Absence, the shared ancestry, but guess what?
This is not our world. This is not our world.
This is George R.R. Martin's world. They share ancestry.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So meanwhile, let's check in with her sister. Rhaenyra returns to the Vale.
Hold on, get my face. Oh my God. Oh, crash out Rhaenyra with crash out Sleep Stealer. This is my head rolls so much in that whole conversation.
My lady, help me. Why should I?
Here? What are you doing here? What the hell? Oh, I got word. The Crown Prince has expired. Ooh, because Rhaenyra didn't know. She had already left.
Right.
And so she heard that. She visibly, this is bad. I didn't knew it was gonna be this bad. This is bad. This is bad. Ooh.
So now she found out, and Lady Erin tells her, I cannot stop a dragon from nesting where it will, and the Vale is vast.
Well, that was after Rhaenyra tried to punk her. Then she tried to console her. To, make a deal with her. But
do you want a dragon or not? It's like I plead with you. You didn't have a heart. Now I'm gonna bargain with you. You want a dragon or not? Because right now I could burn the Vale from above. So what's it gonna be?
It's still a problem because technically, well, first we gotta point out there's a few things. I see what they're doing. I don't like it. I don't like the way they're doing this, but I see what they're doing. Number one, Lady, what is it, Lady Erin, pointed out correctly. I don't know why you're here. You're supposed to be on a ship going to Pentos with those two other Prince boys. Remember, I kept bringing that up. Where the heck is she supposed to be? And remember, we said last week the reason why Jason Spire is because he's trying to save his two brothers. Something happens that still needs to happen, and that still has to happen. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see what y'all doing there. And then number two, put two things together. Like you said, Damon came back, had a conversation with Rhaenyra. She brought up the fact that, well, a couple things happened there. She brought up the fact that Sheepstealer was at the battle. Huh?
Yes.
What's a wild dragon doing there? I don't know. They say they attacked Baylor. Now, here's the funny thing. She specifically said Baylor told her she didn't know who the rider was.
Right.
We know Baylor knows who that rider was.
Is. Yes.
Both her and Jace. Because that's why they did that. They was about to attack her until they realized it was Rhaenyra, and they both was veering away. But Sheepstealer was wilding out, you know, because he a wild dragon.
Is she going to tell her daddy?
I got to see how they're going to play this. She couldn't have a conversation with her dad before they left because she was out there looking for quarters. That's how they did that. Right. That was the reasoning. That's why they didn't have that conversation. So at some point, either a conversation has to be had because you heard what Rhaenyra asked them to do. Find out who that rider was. And the emphasis was there in them. The emphasis there to end that rider. So they don't know it was Rhaenyra. What is Daemon going to do? So now I see how they're about to set up the betrayal, quote unquote,
of Daemon against Rhaenyra.
Yes, we may get spared the nasty of it all that we were talking about last week. It may still happen, but we may get spared that. I see why they set it up this way. They're going to make that the reason. He's going to protect his daughter.
I just want to bring in for folks about Game of Thrones and where this comes in with the book. She is going to settle in the Vale. The Vale is vast.
Eventually, yes.
I want y'all to understand, if y'all remember Game of Thrones, when Tyrion went into the mountains and he was with the mountain people. Okay, remember? This is Shaga. This is Shaga, the son of Shaga. Those burn men worshipped a fire witch. And that fire witch is widely believed to be Nettle's character. So in this case, it will be Rhaenyra's character who would be in the Vale, and they would worship her as the fire witch, if it is going along as the books, where they would be burned by the dragon's fire to show their worthiness to be part of her army. Okay? Okay?
But then, Rhaenyra, the actual character, has a storyline as well. She has to settle and marry in the Vale.
Right.
This is why I had a very bad issue with them combining their storylines.
Yes.
They divert drastically. To me, even though they both technically end up in the Vale, Nettles is supposed to be settled somewhere in the mountains of the Vale, not the Vale of Arryn. Same area, different locations. Rhaenyra has to settle in a castle with a certain lord. We ain't gonna bring him up yet.
Not yet. Mm-hmm.
But she's going to get married and settle in a castle with a certain lord. And something is supposed to happen. Since it got Sheepstealer, we might as well talk about it now. Something is supposed to happen. Her egg, she does have a dragon egg that never hatched. It eventually does. And it's the last dragon living.
Right.
In House Targaryen. This is one of the last dragons living.
This is one of the last, yeah. One of two at this point.
Yeah.
So again, this is how it pertains and how they're trying to draw the story with the book. And I'm trying to bring, Shaga, son of, the mountain men, that Tyrion met in Game of Thrones. We always want here on this channel when we're talking about this to bring forth the connections for you so you could kind of see what's going on. So let's go to Aegon and Larys Strong. They are on the road, and we couldn't figure out how they were going to get out of the clutches of the men that were taking them. And they said the Taroshi soldiers. I don't like this because they're so far from the sea. It does make sense because they have the blue hair, blue beard. That's how we know. But it's so weird that they are so far from the coast. They made it inland so far.
Yeah, that far inland was the interesting part to me. But they made it make sense because like when she sent that force to Driftmark to burn the castle, that's that same force. They probably kept going inward because they couldn't retreat to the sea because what was happening out there, the Battle of the Gullet, and technically they lost. So they can't go back out there. All the dragons are back now. Yeah. You asked for to get burnt. So push inward is pretty much the only option. And so that's why a lot of fighting was going on. But to be that far inland was a bit weird to me. Same. Because even if I had to go inland, I still want to stick close to the bay or the sea so that we can possibly still get away and get out clean. You go too far inland, you ain't never coming home. That's just a fact.
Right.
So it was a little weird. You're right. It was a little weird.
So Larys said he wants to head to Duskendale. And if y'all, again, a connection to Duskendale, remember we met Donald of Duskendale. He was part of the King's Guard in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. When Dunk met the King's Guard for the first time, he was one of them in that tent when Dunk was thought to be a squire or a stable boy. But Donald of Duskendale was part of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Now, Aegon wants to head to Rook's Rest. He go and check on his dragon, even though he reminds us that Christian Cole has a garrison stationed there. Both of them have competing opinions, and there are comedic moments here because it's like you're not asking me for milk of the puppy anymore. You must be doing better. He's like, no, I'm just not talking to you.
I must say they're trying to give us a buddy cop moment between Aegon and Larys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is, as writing is concerned, it is well done. I see the funny in it. I see what's going on. I think it is well done because you don't get this part in the books. And I mean, I'm a little torn on this one. This is one I was a little back and forth about. I understand them why for the show they want us to keep giving us an update what's going on with Aegon. In the books, it was so much more powerful because he just disappears. And you don't know what happened to him. You get rumors, you trying to put things together. The hunt is on, but he just looking disappears. For him. Yeah.
You keep getting out of their clutches. We saw him there days ago. No word.
Yes. The key thing is no one knows what happens, but look what they did in the show. He gets captured or taken into custody by Rhaenyra's forces. The only way for his movements to stay totally quiet is for all those people that were there to expire. And I'm gonna have a hard time believing that. So reports should come out that Aegon was spotted.
What they're probably gonna do is not say anything, because to go and say that you lost him, you gonna have to perish.
Yeah.
Yes, you gonna have to perish. You ain't going to the queen to say that. I guess I buy that. The enemy. Ain't no way you saying anything.
I guess I'll buy it. I'll take it. I guess I'll take it. Because that's the only way you can talk yourself out of this one. Yeah. Just not say nothing.
Nothing. Like, we ain't gonna say we
so I'll take it.
And here's
Even
what
if
you're
it was
going.
school up, it was a good school up. You got attacked by the triarchy. It's like,
Yes,
yeah. But I take it. I'll take it.
he
You
does
know,
get an
it was
arrow.
just a little weird that it's showing us this.
Exactly. Aegon gets an arrow. He breaks it in half. He and Laris prove to be, as you said, good cop, bad cop. They both, are
Yeah.
resourceful in getting out of the clutches of the people, but they want to go in two totally different places. And talking about two different places, Allison does get, Aemond to leave.
Allison was moving around, boy.
She was. We're gonna focus first on Harrenhal and then King's Landing. She
Okay.
gets Aemond to leave. He gets on Vhagar. We see a beautiful photo of him just going off into the distance, and she watches him. Christian Cole sees Aemond as well, flying overhead, and with him are House Stokeworth and Roseby. We see their sigils right there with Christian Cole. Why is this important? Because in Game of Thrones, Bronn, remember Bronn, y'all? Bronn was betrothed to Loras, the lady that he was betrothed and he was going to have her castle, or thought he was, until she said that, no, my sister is going to inherit. She was from House Stokeworth. I'm just trying to put the pieces together for y'all. Put the pieces together. So, Aemond goes and he trying to say, I ain't no punk. I'm going to get to Daemon. I'm going to get to Harrenhal and fight Daemon. He and Vhagar come through, burn up the troops, the few troops that Daemon left there. Then he jumps into Harrenhal. He think he Aegon the Conqueror all over again, blowing flames from above. Get off his dragon, and then he thinks he could slice through everybody. Whatever.
Nah, he think he Daemon.
But they're trying to give us.
He Daemon.
They're trying to give us the parallel, but Daemon didn't come there with fire and brimstone. Daemon didn't burn
he came
the place
there on
down.
guard, but
Yes.
Nah, he didn't. He was ready to fight, but he was just coming in there. I'm gonna take this castle. If you stand against me, then it's up for you. But you're surrendering? All right, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk.
So Simon Strong and his sons, the last of the strong folk, other than Laris, his two grandsons, I'm sorry, they're sitting at the table just like before when Daemon walked in, and this time Aemond says, "Draw your sword." He's like, "Listen, there's nothing here that's going to resist you. No one here." And Aemond doesn't like that, and he takes the dirk to Simon Strong.
It was cat's paw.
Cat's paw. The same one that has the same one that has the story of Ice and Fire on it. Okay.
Yeah. The same one that Arya kills the Night King with.
Exactly. So now it's in the Riverlands. Alice Rivers gonna have it, y'all. I'm just putting that kernel out there.
And also he has Blackfire.
He does have Blackfire.
He was carrying Blackfire.
Yes. The Conqueror's sword.
Those swords got to go back.
Yes, they do.
They don't get, and Catspaw don't get lost at this time. As I say, not yet. So it was weird that he had Blackfire to wet him. This was weird, but okay.
Not so weird since he's trying to say he's the king.
Well, I guess in the book he does leave Blackfire. He doesn't take it with him.
You know why he leaves it. If we gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know why he leaves Blackfire with Alice. Come on now. He gonna leave it with Alice. But anyway, he rejects Simon's surrender. He takes the knife to him. One of the sons try to attack him. Another, knifes him in the back. And he can't believe he wounded. And he is losing a lot of blood. And he falls at Alice's feet, begging her desperately to save him.
Yeah.
And Alice is in a seat of power right now because she has Aemon's life in her hands.
Which leads back to the whole conversation with Damon because now she felt slighted. Oh, well, how about I help this guy then?
Right.
That's the reason why they did that. That's why I didn't like the whole conversation, especially well, at least the part at the very end. They put that part in there specifically so that when this happened, it can explain away why Alice will all of a sudden help Aemond. That's
Right.
the only reason why they did it.
Right, exactly. So now she is turning to the other side. Like if Damon don't come through with the castle like I want, Aemond maybe can get it for me. But I don't know why she would think that, considering
Yeah.
he done cut down everybody and their
Mm-hmm.
mama in that castle.
And on top
So
of that, they ain't won the war.
one day won the war, but also
They ain't-
Alice got the look that Aemond likes. So with her nursing him back to health,
Mm.
I'm just saying, y'all, remember Aemon's proclivities for the ladies. Okay? Okay.
Mhm.
The
I
fall
do
of King's
understand her
Landing.
hedging her bets, though.
Oh, heck yeah. You should. Everybody
Yeah.
should. Everybody should. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
I
know.
understand
I
that.
don't know if, Damon and them go to King's Landing and they do succeed. I don't know. But I have the other side
Mm-hmm.
here, and I'm going to nurture that. I'm going to make sure he lives
Mm-hmm.
and owe me his life. Because that's the other thing. Damon didn't owe her his life, just the
True.
war.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it.
Very
So
true.
don't forget, she's an old witch. So in the fall
Yeah.
of King's Landing, while Aemond is out there in Harrenhal, okay, Alicent is busy, like you said. She uses her influence to open up the gates from the inside. She talks to the captain of the Gold Cloaks. And we learned that,
Mm-hmm.
or I went back and learned that Luther was named the head of the Gold Cloaks, y'all, when the Greens took King's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
When the Greens took King's Landing, they lined everybody up, if y'all remember, and asked, to, basically torture them and find out who is actually on the Green side. And when everything was said and done, Luther was installed as the
Mm-hmm.
head of the Green Cloaks. Also forgetting, and we'll get to it later, that
That was
Damon gave them the gold
yeah.
cloaks. Oh, and let me finish it.
Now this
Remember,
is
y'all. Let me finish
this
it.
is okay.
Remember that Otto Hightower gave Damon the City Watch in order to remove him from the small council. Go ahead, Trey.
Okay. First off, I knew, and not just because of the books. I recognized so Luthor immediately, not from season 2, because I didn't like the way they handled that, and I'm gonna say why in a second. He was in season 1, along with Sir Strong, so Larry Strong or whatnot. Not Larry, the brother. I forgot his first name. Harwin. So Harwin Strong. So I was like, oh yeah, he was one of the guards members with Damien in the very first episode when it was going around the city bringing order. I remembered him immediately from the second season. That's why what they did in the second season, I was a little upset about, because what actually is supposed to happen, they know. See, Otto is, even though this Otto is smart, Otto in the books is even smarter. He knows that Damon is the one that installed the City Watch. So what he actually does, he replaces most of the Lord Commanders with people from the Green household that he controlled. So Luthor was actually just a captain in the books, not made Lord Commander at all. There's actually supposed to be another guy that's supposed to be Lord Commander that was installed by the Greens. As soon as Damon and Rhaenyra shows up or whatever, Luthor, it's not a soft arrest. He basically takes out the Lord King Commander that was installed. And when he does that, he's effectively in charge when Rhaenyra and Damon shows up. And they facilitate the takeover of the city, the entire city. So when they did that last season and they made Luthor a Lord Commander, I was like, what? That's no. Otto should have known that he's loyal to Damon. He shouldn't be in command. It was weird that they did that, but they brought it back around, and here we are. Yeah.
I mean, this is not the
you got
first
Allison
time
running around here, and
it's not the first time though, Trey, that they have felt the sting of the City Watch being on Damon's side.
Yeah, plenty of times. It literally just happened.
Right.
With blood and cheese.
Exactly.
What are you doing? Yeah, dumb mistakes was had. Right.
So Daemon and Rhaenyra,
I can't say it was dumb writing.
It was dumb writing, but again, we have to see that many of this happened under Otto's watch as Hand of the King. He gave this to Daemon, thinking it will have him too busy to do anything, not realizing that you just gave Daemon a lot of power in King's Landing. So they infiltrate. They do a coordinated assault where Daemon, before they left, said, y'all are not paid to think. Y'all are not given dragons to think. This is how we gonna fly through here. Now, I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget our lady. Exactly. I don't want us to forget the lady that is left behind on Dragonstone, that she's going to possibly come back and be the keeper, the Lord of Whispers at the table. Remember, she when Daemon said, I left here, you were a prisoner. I come back and you, basically he's like, I come back and you're in my wife's bed. But Daemon, here's one thing. When they come in, when they leave, when they land, he is seen as the sword or shield ahead of Rhaenyra. And I was like, there were certain parts of it I really didn't like because it felt like she had no agency. Because when she pulled her sword, the king's guards laughed. And I was like, that was not it. That was not it. And in the book, she was not without talent with the sword. So it's like
that she was.
I'm missing the warrior part. I'm missing the warrior.
This is why I brought up the whole patriarchy thing. This is some underhanded stuff going on here. There's some messaging happening right in front of your eyes. Okay? Because I was going to say, in this moment, if you really want to subvert expectations, I would have had Rhaenyra putting in just as much work as Daemon when they were going inside that castle.
Heck yeah.
And it could have been easily explained away because by this point, her and Daemon had been married for over 12 years.
Yes.
You're trying to tell me he didn't teach his wife how to defend herself?
Because he certainly taught his first wife with the dragons and everything. Come on now. Come on now.
And his daughters. His daughters know how to fight. Baylor is no joke, okay?
Exactly.
He taught them. So I'm like, this was in a perfect moment. And Easter egg, you said it earlier, Rhaenyra is carrying Jason's sword this whole entire time. So, no, I would have put that sword to work. She ain't got to be crazy with it, but you definitely had her off a few people. Yes. What I would have did when that Lord Commander was talking trash and she pulled that sword out, I would have had her Daemon step aside. Well, since this is new to you, sir, come and end. How about you yourself end this farce, end my rule? Come on. And have her off him in front of everybody. I want her to win that fight.
We need him. We could have seen it.
For later, yeah.
Right, we need him for later, but we could have seen it in that when he was in the courtyard room, y'all, is the same room that Cersei gonna turn into the map on the ground. Um,
Mhm.
the thing is that somebody could have come at Damon's back that he wasn't expecting, and she could have, parlayed. Come on now, y'all.
There's
She could have
multiple
deflected their sword.
fights.
Right.
They got assailed at least 4 or 5 different times as they're going through the castle before they got to the throne room showdown. There
Right.
were multiple fights. You could have had Rhaenyra and Daemon team, straight up husband and wife team coming in, wrecking shop.
Right.
You could have both of them, and I think it would have been
Exactly.
such a more stronger message as viewership of the show. Rhaenyra's outside putting in work.
And so
It was
when the
such a strong
Kingsguard
message.
comes to block her from the throne and she whips that sword out, at least we would know, the audience, that she know how to use that sword. So when they laughed, we could have been in on the joke, like, y'all just don't know who y'all laughing at. They really let me down as far as
I still would
Rhaenyra
have
is
had her.
concerned.
I still would have had her give her 1-on-1. He could have sent one of the little guards member off her,
Right.
off him.
Could
Yeah,
be.
just
Yeah.
either way, this was a prime moment to show some strength in Rhaenyra.
And
Why is this show so weird to me? They have done plenty of female characters that have been strong, tough, kind, this and that third. We just had the Triarchy commander.
yes.
That was a man in the books.
Lohar.
They made it to a woman,
Right.
Lohar. She led all her men, was tough, and it was a fight with Alan. It was a fight with her and Corlys and her Alan. It was a fight.
We've
You had
had
to fight
Brienne.
her.
We've had Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
We had Arya and the Night King. We can
But
handle having Rhaenyra.
I don't like that Arya Night King.
I understand, but you know where I'm going. We
But
have
yeah, Arya,
female characters who know how to fight. So
but
this whole
never
thing,
never a female character in a certain position of power. They try to portray them a certain way.
again, Jaguar, she's a warrior in the book.
Yes, she is.
She's a warrior in the book, and that is what I cannot stand, in that they made her into a wet rag here. That's it.
Here's the point. I'm gonna say it. You ain't gonna like it, Jaguar. I'm gonna say it. In this show version, even though I'm on Team Black side, they are making a strong case that the Greens have been saying the whole daggone time that this woman is incompetent of ruling.
Right.
And they are giving us evidence to make us believe it.
But there's other
And that's
ways
sad.
she's incompetent of ruling, and we will find out, in subsequent episodes. But Sir Luther, while they are there, Rhaenyra and Daemon, trying to get through the gold close, not the gold close, trying to go through the King's Guard to try and get to the Iron Throne. The gold cloaks pull up, and Sir Rickon think he got the gold cloaks and got them sandwiched, until Luther say, this gold cloak was given to me by Daemon, and it is gold no matter how you try to turn it. That was his way of telling y'all, no matter how many times y'all try to turn me green, I've always been gold.
Mm-hmm.
So they have Rhaenyra and Daemon's back. Now, while before this happened, I want to, jump around. We said Alicent was busy. Alicent went up to the towers and say, you got to stop. Don't do the scorpion. But she went and get Helena first. Helena is watching a caterpillar and says, it's not the right time. Not the right time. I'm thinking, is winter coming early or not? But the butterfly that this caterpillar is going to turn into, we see in her notebook, is Alisoni. Alisoni of Narth. Now here in the notes it says it is to cause the unaliving of people around, but she said, I'm living. But Alisoni, I wonder if it means Alicent. But I want us to think of Narth is where Missandei, which is the right-hand woman, Y'all following me? Missandei of Game of Thrones, she's from North. She's from the Isle of Butterflies. And these butterflies have like a butterfly fever. And if you're not from there, that's why I was like, why is she taking Grey Worm there? If you're not from there, the butterflies can give you the fever and you can perish if you're not native to the land.
I
So
think
could
they
it
just
all
disregarded that show version.
whatever. That's something that needs to be told. But
Yeah.
could it mean that Alicent is deadly to those around her? And I wondered, Alicent, and the people around her are about to perish. But Alicent and Helena, they go to the top of the castle. They make sure the scorpions are not engaged. Hey, Rhaenyra is coming. Do you want to perish? She's coming with a whole bunch of dragons, more than we have. But when they try to run away and have her chickens,
Mm-mm.
Alicent and Helena, y'all, are recognized by the small folk. And I hope y'all realize that this was a miscalculation from previous seasons.
You
The
have to dress
people,
down.
yeah, they dressed down, but they ain't looking dressed down, but it doesn't matter.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The people recognize them because they were forced in a
Yeah.
procession through the city. Otto Hightower said, your mother and wife needs to go with your son and show them what Rhaenyra has done. And now people recognize their faces in the street. Again, Otto, things you have done that is making this going to be difficult. But the biggest shock, going back into the castle, after they let go Rhaenyra's people who, didn't want to take the knee to the Greens, they locked them up in the cells. They go around looking for
Aegon.
And
They
they
don't
threaten
know.
again. They threaten again. Oh gosh, what was the maester's name?
Olaf.
Orlon.
Hold on. Mr. Orwell. It's Orwell.
Oh well. They threaten him again of like, he's like, I don't know where Aegon is. I really don't know. But we also see that he about to lose his head, or it's a running joke. But he certainly saved Alicent from the Master of Laws, Jasper Wild, when he tried to get at her, mentioning her being with Christian Cole and mentioning she has risen through the ranks, not like her father hasn't used her to rise through the ranks. He's acting like she wasn't a child when she was married off. Is he okay?
No, and honestly, I don't know why they added this scene. Because this is just a show thing.
It is just a show thing.
So it was to me, it was a situation where they, as they've been doing, they continually try to create scenarios to have you on Alice's side.
Yes.
To a certain extent, even though she's doing things that are wrong. But because just keep it real what she's doing. Mm-hmm. She is portraying her family here.
Yes.
She absolutely is portraying her family. She absolutely is, when she had that talk with Rhaenyra, which it still should never happen. When she had that talk with Rhaenyra, what happens if I come there to see, I gotta take Aegon's head. I have to. So you sacrificing your son.
Right.
They forced this character to say that.
Both sons.
Well, yes, and that's Aegon and Aemond. Heads gotta go. Gotta go. So the fact that Alicent agreed to that was already kind of crazy. A little bit. It's kind of crazy. But it's such a weird balancing act they've been doing with especially Alicent's characterization. This is call it for what it is for right now. Allison is a horrible mother.
No
This has
lies
always
told.
been this has always been a parallel between her and Rhaenyra. They've been doing this for this whole show. Rhaenyra is the one that's been portrayed as being wild out there, can't be trusted, this, that, and third. But they want to portray her as such a loving and caring mother, which she is. But they've been overtly in the show portraying Rhaenyra this way. She's just, such a great mom. Has such great lines with her kids, her sons, just such touching things. Allison has always been portrayed as the pious, do her duty, this and that and third, but she's a horrible mother.
But Trey, I think they showed this part because this is Allison's first time not allowing herself to be used in that way. Because even when Aemond kissed her last week, she just took it. She just took it. She took it, but to me, it was another sign of your loss of agency. Your son is kissing you. She would rather let it happen.
I get it.
And get through it. And that has been her life. So they may have done this with Master of Laws Jasper Wilde as her only time she's fighting back. And it was really tongue-in-cheek because the rock she picked up apparently was a turtle. Yeah. And George R.R. Martin loves turtles. And I was like, why did you have to put his favorite character or his favorite animal in the midst of this violation?
Message.
Are you trying to say that in this scene, who are you and who's George? Who are you and who's George? Because if George liked turtles and Allison picked up a turtle, are you trying to say you screwing George? I'm just saying.
It's weird. See, okay, I'm not going to sit and pretend that George doesn't write very graphic scenes in his writing. But even when it's talk about, raping and stuff like this and third, even in his writing, even when he's asked this, he points out, okay, you have to understand what times they are supposed to be in, and I am writing from the perspective of those said times these things happen. And then he's also said in the past, when I do write these scenes, if you pay attention to what's going on in these scenes, it's done for a specific reason.
Right.
Even though they're brutal, graphic, they're always done for a specific reason, either for good or for worse, a certain character's growth or degrowth, or for you to put yourself in a position for, I said degrowth, that was crazy, to put yourself in a position to dislike a certain character for a specific reasoning. Okay? But it's never done in a way for you to explain why are you taking this character's head now.
Right.
But the funny thing is the reasoning you're taking his head in the show, quote unquote reasoning, is different from what we as an audience is hoping why you're taking his head for.
Right.
His head didn't get taken for his assault against Allison.
No.
Even though it should have been done for that. He should have been gilded for that. It should have took his thing off. That's what should have happened.
Peas and carrots.
But he should have got his head was being taken off because he was straight up traitor.
Yes, he was.
Period.
So the maesters who saves Allison, he's like, I know what I saw. You could spin it however you want, Mr. Master of Laws, but I know what I saw. But we also know that Maester is very close to Allison. He helped her get to Dragonstone to meet Rhaenyra. He also gets her moon tea whenever she needed to cleanse herself after her interactions with Christian Cole. So that Maester is very much close to Allison, even though he's going to be bending the knee to Rhaenyra. Okay? bending the knee to Rhaenyra. I don't need you to translate Trey's foolishness. I just was gonna let it slide
I love
since he
it.
corrected himself.
Thank you, Absence. Thank you. I love that. Yes. We're gonna call it degrowth, loss and trauma, loss or trauma. And that's a new word for this channel. We're gonna use degrowth. Yeah, he or she was in degrowth.
His primal baser instincts is now called degrowth. Okay.
He was in degrowth.
Now, with all of this,
yeah, we using that. We keeping that.
Oh, you could keep it. You could use it. I use official website. I'm glad that Absence is able to help you transition properly with the translation. We see that while Daemon is looking throughout the cells and releasing Rhaenyra's sworn people who are locked up because they didn't want to swear to the Greens. One of the guardsmen say, Your Grace,
now this was crazy.
There's a gift for you. And he goes to the window. He's like, what? Because he's thinking it's a trick too. And he looks in and laughs and has a whole belly roll laugh. Because last season we saw Otto Hightower in a cell, we just didn't know where. And Otto Hightower is actually in the secret dungeon where Larys Strong has locked him away. And if y'all would remember, this is similar to Ned Stark being in the black cells back in Game of Thrones.
I hated that part because I didn't need that. You see, Ned was they try to write some parallels like, oh, Otto's doing the right thing. Look what he got done in for. Nah, you can miss me with that. Did you like the way they did this? Because I'm a little...
Did what, Otto? In the cell?
Yeah. Well, no, not... Well, yes. Because, okay.
Otto in the cell, okay. I don't like it because I don't see Otto after he tosses his hand pin. I didn't see him as trusting Larys at all.
Yeah.
How did Larys get him? Right.
He should have been surrounded by his guardsmen. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Okay, y'all. Book time. In the books, Otto does get relieved of Hand of the King and is given to Sir Kristen Cole. But he doesn't go anywhere. He actually stays at King's Landing. He stays by his daughter Alicent's side. This is book Alicent now, not this little show version. Remember we said before, book Alicent and Rhaenyra are not even the same age. They're 12, they're like almost 10 years apart. She plays a more of an evil stepmother to Rhaenyra, not a friend. So, and she's lockstep, like if you want to talk about with the patriarchy, lockstep in game with the patriarchy. So this is why I keep saying this back and forth with this show, Alicent. It's a little weird to me. It's a little weird. Pick and choose already. It's been years now. Pick and choose. But he stays with his daughter. So when the cities get taken by Rhaenyra and Daemon, her and Alicent is brought forth. Well, him and Alicent is brought forth to the Iron Throne.
In the book, y'all.
This got the gold cloaks. The gold cloaks go to their offices and bedrooms and arrests them immediately, and then brings them before Rhaenyra in the throne room. Not this old Larys of all people. Right. Somehow got a hold of Otto Hightower. This is Otto Hightower. Even though he's not Hand of the King, he's still a powerful man. He has guards. He said that he was on his way back to Old Town, right? Which I thought was weird when they said that. I was like, why are you doing that? But okay, whatever. Because we knew he had to come back because he got repeated. So,
Trey,
yes,
remind the folks who became Hand with Viserys. No. With Viserys when Otto was first stripped of it.
I forgot his first name, but his last name was Strong.
Larys's father.
Yeah, Larys's father.
So why would Otto trust the son of the man who took his job?
He never trusted him. That was the weird thing. He never trusted Larry Strong, ever. So even if you're not trusted, you keeping guards around you at all times. So you're gonna want me to believe, even though we don't see this, we just supposed to believe that Larry somehow offed all his guardsmen that he may have around him, or even if you kidnap Otto in secret, people still will ask questions. You still got to make it no. This is the problem with here's my main problem with this storyline, right? If Otto makes an announcement that he's going back to Old Town to be with her third son and get things situated there, right? And then he was going to go talk to the Tyrells himself to get that. That was going to be his mission. Word would say, "Hey, Otto's on his way back to Old Town." When he doesn't show up, because this is months now that has passed. If he doesn't show up, you don't think somebody would have sent word that, "Hey, when is Otto getting here? He hadn't showed up when he was supposed to show up."
She said that I guess my father didn't get my message.
And when they did that, I knew then. I was like, that's a bad excuse. That's a terrible
because
you could have.
But here's the other thing, Trey. Otto can bribe the people. How is it that the jailers were able to keep him?
Exactly.
He would announce who he is. I am the king's grandfather. You know, there's no way Larys has more money or leverage than Otto Hightower.
In this show version, they're definitely trying to make Larys like his reach is ridiculous. But if his reach was that ridiculous, then got caught by those Rhaenyra's forces out.
You gotta repeat it. If his reach is ridiculous,
you see what the problem is here. How they're making it. He by Rhaenyra's forces. Everything should have been planned out, where he was going, how he was getting there. This is sloppy. To me, it's just all sloppy, but it's happened. Otto's here. He got caught. He's brought to the throne room. So,
he's brought to the throne room. Yeah. Rhaenyra is still crying her behind off. I'm sorry, y'all, but Daemon is pegged as the devil on her shoulder, as the one egging her on, because I know everybody wants to still see her as the realm's delight. But like,
I hated that because he was right.
Like if Daemon is the one pushing her to do all these bad things, another seed to be sown to say why she would go against. Mm-hmm. She'll probably blame him for how the people see her. But anyway, he says, Aegon is not here. Otto is. Mm-hmm. He will suffice.
Stand in his place. He can stand in his place as
you
victory.
End him, you are queen. And the people will see it as such.
Yeah, and it makes sense because, let's keep it real, Otto started all of this bullcrap. Every cent of it. It starts with him.
Yes.
It starts with him. Decades in the planet. It starts with him. So either way you cut it, before I say this, flashback, Daemon was always right. Since the first season, first episode, when he was talking to his brother in the throne room and Viserys was on the Iron Throne. He told Viserys to his face, hey, 10 years, you always try to send me away. 10 years, Viserys, and you never decided to make me hand. Why would I do that? Because I'm your brother. Even though it was some nepotism he was talking about, I understood what he was saying. No one would protect you like I would.
No one has.
Is what he was telling him. No one has. Yeah, he protected his brother from a lot. He told him, Otto has served faithfully. Otto is a cunt. He's a second son who had to scrape to get what he has, and the only way he's going to rise up is taking it from others. He's a cunt. He's like, he doesn't like me because I tell him what he is to his face. He was right the entire time. he tried to tell his brother, watch out for that one, bro. Watch out for that. Because he has done nothing but been an opportunist that has put himself next to power to have it for himself. So he had to go. Okay? He had to go.
Yes, he had to go. He had to, because again, Daemon knew all this time. I just didn't like how Daemon is seen as her sword and the one pushing her to these decisions. She knows what needs to be done. She can't just walk up to the throne and take it.
I don't know if I could do it. No, I hated that. Oh, and you said it loud enough for people to hear it.
In front of the whole crowd, including your supporters,
in front of him,
locked up and just freed.
In front of him.
She is snot-nosed crying. And he said, well, let Daemon do it. I don't want to be hacked into. Basically telling you, you ain't got it to take my head.
Yeah. And he only said that because he overheard her say, I don't know if I could do it, Daemon. That's when he looked up and said, he's still punking you. He's still punking you. And when Daemon heard that, he went, Daemon knew it. Hold on. This is the reason why I brought this out. When Daemon heard that, he saw his face. His face went, oh, you really still... Hey. Nah. Don't even say that. Just, Nah. Too late. He talking big stuff now. And you the queen now. He's talking big stuff. Use Dark Sister. It's better than Jay's sword. You're going to get a cleaner cut. Okay, it's going to cut a little better. Use Dark Sister. You know, so it's a smart thing to do, and it's symbolic. One of the two great swords of the Dragon House. Dark Sister, baby. That was Queen Viseria's sword, one of her heroes.
Yes.
Yes. This was symbolism. Use Dark Sister. Yes. But then she take it and...
shaking.
I was like, oh, God, don't do this. Have more, come on, have more gusto. Don't be looking at those people. Pay attention to what you're doing. Auto looking around like, you really gonna do this? All right. Bend his neck down.
She swings down and hits him in the shoulder blades, y'all.
She closes her eyes when she swings the first time. I was like, oh my God.
And Daemon, like a good trainer, says, try again. Aim for the head. It up.
And then this time she keeps her eyes open. And it's a decent swing. I will say it was better than Theon's work.
It was.
Okay. But because she took it in the head when she took it in two. But I also say at least Theon didn't miss the first time. He just didn't go through.
Right. Right.
he didn't miss. He just didn't go through.
He didn't have the strength to go through. Okay.
Yeah. So Canadian steel sword. You know, they cut.
And
really
after
good.
that, just like any, like Harley Quinn and the Joker, Daemon grabs his sword and takes the head of Jasper Wilde.
And this fool had the nerve to say before he expired, please tell my wife, yo, wife, after what we just saw you do, you mother. I was so glad when Daemon took his. I was like, yes. Now that's a clean cut.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, I was up for that. That part I was up for. I was like, that's how you do it.
So Rhaenyra steps in the blood of Otto, and her steps are bloody on the way to the throne.
I like that symbolism.
Love the symbolism. Yes, love the symbolism. Love to see her walking as it's reflected in his pool of blood on the ground. That was beautiful cinematography.
Daemon should have crowned her when she got up there.
He should have. Just
like he crowned his brother. He should have walked up behind her, crowned her, walked back down and kneeled.
Yes, he should have, but that ain't the ending they're looking for. She sits down, and this is her first time sitting on the throne. Many a person has sat on that throne, including Daemon, and we haven't seen her. The only time we saw her, it was as a young girl when Damon was having his visions.
Looks
She hasn't
uncomfortable.
sat in right. She hasn't sat, and she was very
Hmm.
uncomfortable sitting there. She didn't look like she belonged on the throne. And sorry, the Rhaenyra from the book planted herself on that throne and said, "Get me Aegon."
Hmm.
The Rhaenyra from the book reminded me of Visenya. Though she was a
Yeah.
warrior. I'm sorry, but
Now
she sits down, and who comes in? Who's dragged in? Trey.
it's Allison and Helena. Now I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair. In the books, when Rhaenyra does sit down on the throne, she does receive her first cut. She gets
Yes,
cut by the throne, and it's looked as a omen, like the throne is spurning her. That's how it's looked
yes,
at.
it's
They
rejecting
did,
her, and
yeah.
she's not the
They didn't do
rightful
that.
ruler. They're doing it next. They're
They
doing
didn't
it
do that
next.
for this.
I
Interesting.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it now either.
Okay,
I wouldn't do
I
it
guess
now.
I want to say,
We're so
all right,
overstimulated already. Like I would, we already have Allison and Helena. Helena is about to go off the deep end, seeing her grandfather beheaded. Allison and Rhaenyra are looking at each other like Allison's like, I did everything, and you killed my father. We agreed to my sons. So
Allison.
betrayal.
Allison cannot. Allison cannot talk. I knew this point was going to come up. I knew this point was going to come up, and I didn't like it because the reason why I didn't like it, Allison has no room to get upset that her father said has been taken. It
Nope.
it wouldn't have mattered if this war was still have been won by the blacks. Otto's head was coming off regardless.
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 Yes. Yes.
Even if he did make it back to Old Town, this and that and third. You know what would have happened? Say the blacks won the war. The first thing would have happened, bring forth some Otto Hightower. He has to come forth. He either have to come forth or run. That's going to be two options. Leave Westeros on the run and be a treasonous runner for coward forever, or come and get his head off, and that would have happened. Why? The reason why lords do come and get their heads chopped off, there's a specific reason. Usually, when they do that, they can sue for clemency for the rest of the family.
Right.
Because, mind you, the whole entire household, Hightower house, is in rebellion now. Okay? That means they all got to go unless somebody pays the blood price. And the rest of the family bends the knee. But either way you cut it, Aldo was always going to lose his head somehow, some way in this war. Because he said it when he first walked in the room. He said, so I will assume, since you saw them, I will
Right.
assume that everyone else is inspired.
Deceased.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know his family that well, but hey, he was just trying to look for confirmation to see if everything was done and gone because she's here. Now, here's why I tell you I wouldn't do the chair rejecting her yet. I would do it when she's crowned. When that crown
Okay.
hit her head and she
I
gets
guess.
nicked by the throne,
I guess.
it would look poignant. Like, oh, you could sit on the chair, but being
I'm gonna be
crowned
honest.
on it,
My opinions of that, I remember I've read that story honestly in my lifetime. In my lifetime, I have read this Princess and the Queen or this Dance of Dragon stories because it's been called both throughout
yeah.
history. I have read this story probably in my adult life, even from my kid to my adult life. This has been over 50 something times. I have been over
Oh,
this story.
I have not.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have. So I know this story front to back. It's like,
That's
when
why
this
you
part,
hear Trey.
when this part came up in the books, um, I'm always left with an interesting feeling. And George likes doing these comparisons. He likes writing people that sees omens and everything, and could the omens mean something? Then he goes to the realistic side of things and what it might mean, and he leaves the reader to choose which path you want to take, how you want to think about it, right?
Trey,
Huh?
what happened when she sat down in the book that they did not show us here? Other than getting nicked on the finger. It's very pivotal.
Where? Hold on. There's a few things that I'm trying to see where you get there, because there's a few things that come to mind. Let me see. She walks to the throne. She puts on the crown. There, people were, how the narration goes. They're making comments to how stout she looks. Number one, because she picked up some weight. And while she was sitting down, when she yells out, "Bring me Aegon," she's gripping the throne as she does it. And that kind of leads to why she gets cut in the first place, because she's gripping the throne so daggone hard. That leads to the cut in the first place. But people just took that as an omen. But it don't matter who you are, you gripping it's a throne made of swords. It's still
And the
sharp.
swords aren't dull. You're right. They aren't dull swords.
Yeah, some of them still are still sharp. If you're gripping the throne, you're going to get cut. I don't care who you are. So it leads to the question: was that an omen, or was that you just being foolish, gripping this daggone dangerous throne?
Well, here's what I was getting at.
Okay.
She's supposed to have her vision when she sits on the throne.
Yeah.
She sees the Red Keep completely engulfed in ice, the darkness, the burning under the shadow as a massive frozen dragon.
That's right.
That is where she is supposed to see the beginning of the end. She is supposed to see the prophecy. She is supposed to see Aegon's vision, so she can move forward with the Song of Ice and Fire, the prophecy that's warning her that while she won the throne, there is something, more, there's something bigger than her coming, and it's coming from the north. So I was upset they missed that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I wanted her to have that vision, like Dany had the vision, and when she comes out of the vision, she sees Alicent looking at her horrified. That's what I was hoping for. But yes, she was supposed to have her vision.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that part. That part did happen. I always felt like it was supposed to have been. I think George was trying to write a parallel to what may have. I think he was giving us a clue what may have happened to the Mad King and why he went mad for real. Actually, not just because he just went crazy. Because when he was young, he was a very sane man. People liked him. He was cool, but something kept happening to him over the years. The longer he sat on that throne, so
keep on getting that vision.
Yeah.
What there is something when a Targaryen is born. It's a flip of the coin.
You just made me all these years. You just made me think of something else. I'm thinking through every Targaryen king and what happens to them before and after they actually sit on that throne.
Thank you. You're with me now.
There's a few. There's only really 2 or 3 off the top of my head that I can name where it seemed like they were okay after sitting on the throne.
They didn't go mad.
Yeah. The rest of them, either we get an explicit vision from them, from their point of view, they see something and George describes it, or we get it from the point of view of the audience watching the person and something's weird going on with them, or something horrible happens to that person. I've always wondered, especially since they did this whole prophecy thing in the show, which I was a little iffy about when they started it, when they did this. I didn't think it was needed, but they did it. with the cat's paw, the Song of Ice and Fire, all that, Aegon's dream. But okay, we're going this route. The funny part that always got me, what did Viserys see while sitting down on the throne?
What did his father see?
What, Jaehaerys?
Again, his father before him was also a time of peace.
Yeah, he said he passed. Well, Jaehaerys passed the secret on to him of the Song of Ice and Fire. It was passed from king to king, king to king, which I find. This is a very small tangent. This is the main reason why I didn't like the whole prophecy, a Song of Ice and Fire on Cat's Paw, passed from king to king, because if it came straight from Aegon and it went from king to king, there's a split in there where there's no way a king should have got the prophecy of the Song of Ice and Fire, mainly with Maekar the Cruel, because Aegon was already had expired, and Aenys, his first son Aenys, was made king. Now I can believe if this happened, he could have passed the knowledge to him, but Aenys, the realm rebelled against him, for a specific reason. But the realm rebelled against him, and he fled to Dragonstone. That's when Visenya got on Vhagar, flew across the narrow sea to Pentos and got her son Maekar, brought him back, and it was up and stuck. He became king after that, took the throne. So there's no way the Song of Ice and Fire could have been passed.
Right. So absence, I don't think it's an animate object that has its own intentions. It could, I don't think so, but it could be. But I think it's passing on the information, because the swords were from the enemies that Aegon defeated. He took their swords, and with the dragon fire. The dragon fire of
Balerion the Dread.
Balerion the Black Dread.
And remember what they told you in Game of Thrones. Dragons are fire-made flesh. They are magical creatures. The reason why a lot of these Targaryens have these dreams and things that happen is because way back in the day with blood magic and stuff like that is how they made the dragons. They literally somehow, I'm gonna use a new age term to explain it. There was some mutations that was going on. I think they were breeding humans with dragon blood and trying to create themselves. Basically.
Yeah, they were trying some in all Valyria. They were trying some all kinds of stuff, but Balerion,
blood magic,
the Black Dread.
Thing.
Right, but Balerion the Black Dread was one of the first dragons, and I can see the potency in his magic, and putting that magic into those swords could be also putting, the information into those swords. It could be maybe not. Okay.
Specifically, I think what else I like this theory actually. I do like it. Because it makes sense. It kind of explains a few things that George has written over the years. Like, wait a minute, Balerion is the last dragon to actually see Valyria of old.
Yes.
When House Targaryen came over from Valyria, they were just a vassal house. They weren't like a huge house of Valyria, but Daenerys, the Dragon Dreamer, had that dream that Valyria is about to be lost, the doom of Valyria, and she convinced her father.
He's one of 5 dragons, but he is the oldest.
At the time when Aegon's conquest happens, he's the last one.
Yes.
Vhagar and Baratheon, his sister wife dragons, they were still young, but they hatched on Dragonstone. While they were already over there.
He's the Black Dread because also his flames are black. He doesn't have this green or red fire. That's also why I'm thinking Balerion's. There's something with the magic of him with the
Yes.
seat that alters the person who sits on it.
Yes, y'all. These dragons breathe different color fires. It ain't just this regular flame fire we keep seeing in the show. Not everyone, but a lot of the dragons, there's color hints to their flames. Valerian the Black Dreads, he breathes black fire shot with white. It's so hot that it shoots out white, but it's black. That's crazy visual to see. That would be a crazy visual to see.
It wouldn't
Vanguard,
film well. It wouldn't film well unless it's a cartoon.
I'll disagree. I would disagree. They gave us that same excuse by not giving us the purple eyes, and it's been a problem. Period. No, I disagree. I think it would look incredible on screen. It would be crazy. Vanguard's fire is supposed to have shots of green coming through it, like green fire almost. Just shots of green and white. You know, Karatzi's fire, Damon's dragon, Karatzi's, it's supposed to look more red coming out. Just hints of like a lot more tinge red. It ain't got to be straight red, but just a tinge color more redder as it's breathing out fire. When it hits ground and hits stuff, then it kind of, just like regular flame, it may cool off. Like if you look at a regular flame, you'll see blue, you see yellow, you see orange, you see red, you see white. And each one has a different heat factor. It's all hot, but each one has a different heat factor. You even see black in the regular flame if you look hard enough. So yeah, they could have done it.
They could have.
They could have done it.
They could have done it. I'm just saying that
I still want my purple eyes. I'm sorry. So I don't care how long they keep doing the shows. I still want my daggone purple eyes. Okay, I want them.
I think because he is probably one of those tied to blood magic and tied to the Targaryen family with blood magic. This is just a theory of mine, y'all.
Probably
I just think one of the last that used blood magic rather than hatching for the family.
Mm-hmm.
I think the person with Targaryen blood sitting on that throne will get the vision.
And you know what to add to it? He picked up the swords from every battle, right? Most of the swords that he got that came from victory in battles came from the north.
Right.
And their swords were never bloody or burnt because Tragon he bent the knee. He's the king that knelt. He bent the knee.
Yes.
So the swords weren't burned. But a lot of the swords that made the Iron Throne most of them came from the north. And we know how the north, the old guys, the power in that, how they get down.
That too. The old gods could be making them mad.
What I'm saying is that throne, there's so much tied up into that throne itself that yes, we probably just opened up a whole conversation that no one's really having. The throne itself, it could be magical because it was made by Dragonfire and made from swords from every region of Westeros except Dorne. Which I find interesting, except Dorne. So it's almost like the throne has eyes everywhere. And eyes everywhere.
And as you bring it up, it could be the old gods, giving you the vision of the end of your line to drive you mad.
Maybe. Because a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
We do have a question. Absent said this is regards to Otto. When he threw his hand pendant at Aemond in the books, did he? I thought he would have ended him immediately on the show. I think, and you'll speak to the book. Aegon. Yeah, no, this is when Otto threw his pin at Aegon. What I would say is that's why he said, I'm talking to my grandson. It's to bring the familial rather than I'm speaking to my king. But what happened in the book, Trey?
Well, how they portrayed it in the show is pretty close. That scene was probably the closest adaptation from book to show. It is, and it was acted very well by the man who plays Adolf. He acted it. I would say he probably acted it even better than how it was portrayed in the book. But the scene kind of goes one for one. It kind of goes one for one. Aegon does make a few decisions that was just dumb. Otto does bust in the room like, what have you done? What folly is this? Because, yeah, like I said, it just happened. Sir Eric, remember the reason why it happened, Sir Eric gets sent to Dragonstone to offer Rhaenyra, and he gets a fight with his twin brother. When Otto finds this out is why he goes to the king like, what have you done? Oh, that and the rat catchers. The rat catchers did it, and then we found out about Sir Eric. It was like, what folly is this? What have you done? The king is an idiot.
Yeah.
The king is my grandson, and he's an idiot.
He doesn't find out till he says, "What have you been doing, grandfather?" It's that writing notes. Christian here has sent, Sir Eric to pretend to be his brother. Now that is doing something. I'm tired of sitting here not doing something. That's when Otto finds out how stupid these two are being.
You idiot!
Now
he calls him an idiot.
As you bring that up, and Absence, thank you for the question. You do realize the same night that locked Rhaenyra up in her quarters, like Jace told him to, is the same night that was convinced by Sir Eric that he was his brother, and he left his post. He should have been gone. This is 2 times now this night has failed his queen.
He's failed. He's failed a lot. The first one we can kind of forgive because it was twin brothers. And they were identical twins. This was a good casting. They made sure to get brothers that really looked alike. So you like, oh snap! You really had to know the character to know the difference.
Yes, that is why he tried to. That is absent because he has failed a second time, and this time it cost the life of the crown prince.
This time it's really bad. He's like, oh man. He's like, oh man, this it was a bad effort.
Yeah,
it really was.
This time, the first time, Rhaenyra almost gets herself done in, and this time her son does get himself done in. So he is the same night.
It's a show version. This doesn't happen. Yeah, the show version. This doesn't happen. They are not as incompetent, especially the blacks. If you notice why they're making all the blacks a little incompetent, but Daemon, but they're still trying to portray Daemon as the most dangerous one. You can't trust him, this and that and third. But he's the only one getting this done.
Because they want that the loss of Daemon will hit them hard.
Oh yeah, it will.
That's what they're trying to put him, but they're doing something foolish because in the books, in that scene when the brothers are fighting in the chambers, when the brother first came to Rhaenyra, she was holding her own.
Yeah.
Until the twin bust in the door and realized his brother was fighting the queen. I mean, the cowering Rhaenyra in the bedchamber is where I was kind of done with it, but I didn't tell y'all because in the book she was not cowering. She was not using her sheets as a shield.
And also in the books, the reason why it's less and less cowering, by this time in the books, by the time Jace is done, she has lost effectively 3 sons, 1 daughter.
Yeah.
She lost a daughter in childbirth, if y'all remember.
Yes.
When she found out that the Greens have taken
her father,
the Iron Throne. Taking the Iron Throne.
Oh yeah, taking the Iron Throne. Yeah, her father had passed.
Yeah, then she loses Jacaerys to Aemond.
Yep.
And his dragon. Okay, that's 2. The 3rd son hasn't happened yet. They're acting like they're gonna do it, but I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna do this mess because they done do things out of whack. It's almost not gonna make sense. But the third one is presumed loss. Because we told you last week, young Aegon, her son Aegon, and his brother Viserys supposed to be on that boat to Pentos. They're gonna get caught by the Triarchy.
And what Triarchy?
Aegon escapes. What Triarchy? Exactly.
Because
Aegon escapes.
Right, but the seeds are supposed to burn every last ship.
But yeah. So, but Aegon is supposed to escape on his little dragon's baby dragon bat, and Viserys is left behind, and is presumed deceased. So that's a third son loss. So by the time Jace is lost in the attempt to save his brothers, that's how it happens in the book, y'all. He's not out there being stupid. He's out there trying to save his brothers. He's out. It's sadder in the books. It's so much sadder.
Yes, this time he's trying to save his betrothed, who has now moved on.
But by the time Jace is gone, what I'm saying is by the time Jace is gone, Rhaenyra, she feels the loss of her kids. Don't get it twisted. In the book, she feels it. She feels it. But she's lost so many by this point because of this war. She also becomes a little more hardened.
Yes. She's not the wet rag that we see. Okay.
So when she rode up the King's Landing, it is on demon time. Okay.
It is Visenya returned.
Demon time. We ain't playing games. It is up and it's stuck. Where's Aegon? He done ran. Oh, okay. Otto, you here? Bet. Some words are said. Otto talking trash. Take his head. It was left in the books. We gotta say it is left ambiguous of who took Otto's head.
Right.
Because it just said his head is taken.
Yep.
And he's the first of many to get their head taken off. So I did like the addition that Rhaenyra had to do it, and I agree with it. She had to do it.
She had to show some kind of strength, even though it wasn't. But
you can't let him live. I don't care I don't care about your relationship with Alicent. No, bump that. Otto could not live. He could not.
So, in going forth, next episode this Sunday, y'all, we do see that she's holding court. Everybody's coming to argue their side. Corlys is, if you pay attention to the previews, Corlys, her hand is in King's Landing at this point. Mm-hmm. Also, what we will find out is that Loras Strong has taken what rest of the money the crown has for him and Aegon when they flee. But remember, they used a lot of money to get the Triarchy to come to their side. So Rhaenyra is entering a red keep that ain't got no gold coin. Okay?
Mm-hmm. The realm is broke, so for the most part, because the Greens took the money, which was one of Otto's plans. Remember that in the first season when they would say, "Oh, now we may go forward for our long laid plans." And, who said that? Sir Jasper. Jasper said it. The guy that got his head taken up, the Master of Laws. He says that. Traitor. So, and they say that they're going to take the money, split it up, and put it in different places.
Also, the Lannister that was sent over shore, if we don't see his body, I don't trust that he's gone. But also we see Daemon, and that is going to be the thumbnail for the next live. Daemon is out there with multiple dragons on the field, meeting the Hightower army, who is going to present him with a fake Hightower prince. Y'all peep that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We gonna see how Daemon gonna respond to this kind of insult, because even the dragon behind them at the Hightower line is confused as to who this blonde bastard is. So y'all, we will be here next week again to talk about the House of the Dragon. We are also covering Love is Blind Argentina. We'll have a live on Saturday We are also going to be covering, well, I'll be covering Project Runway starting next week. And please also, I'm covering Alone, the Survivor Show. Watch those videos if you want to see how people try to compete and survive out there. Lord Snow, any final words?
Well, we're on this journey. We're on this ride. We're going to see how this war concludes, y'all. You know, we do. So, yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah, we're in for a ride. It's going to be 8 episodes long. So, 2 down. We're getting closer and closer to the end, but we are here. We will be here weekly to bring the books together and to tie it into the other shows so you know exactly what's going on. But thank y'all so much for being here. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.